The Hogwarts Castle is the awe-inspiring backdrop to so many of the magical adventures which take place within the Harry Potter film series. Surrounded by vast lakes and the Forbidden Forest, the iconic turrets, the Gothic windows, dramatic bridges, and endless stairways that make up this magnificent castle are familiar to both wizards and muggles alike. We have all of these details here at our Hogwarts Castle model at Warner Brothers Studio Tour London, the making of Harry Potter.
The detail, even down to each individual brick, is absolutely staggering. I mean, the artistry, the craftsmanship is honestly next level. The design for the Hogwarts Castle became the blueprint for surrounding sets and planning locations, but ultimately, it all started with Hogwarts.
Well, if you've ever wondered how they made the Hogwarts Castle model, today is your lucky day, as we are going to have a closer look behind the scenes.
And we'll even be introducing you to somebody incredibly special who is at the heart of bringing this model to life. Welcome to our new series, brought to you by Warner Brothers Studio Tour London, The Making of Harry Potter.
Today, we are so excited to be giving you some filmmaking secrets about the Hogwarts Castle model, the grand finale here at the Studio Tour.
My name is Kaya.
And my name is Wayne.
Welcome to the Gryffindor Common Room.
So Kaya, do you have any memories of the first time you saw the model?
I do. I came to visit the tour with my family for my brother's birthday, and I walked into that room and burst into tears. I just think it's such an emotional and such a poignant end to the tour, and it did feel like you were coming home to a set that was really familiar that you see on screen, and all of a sudden you're there in person.
That's so lovely.
So emotional.
Yeah, well, so I saw it the first time when I came to work here, but I walked into that room and I gasped. I just couldn't believe that this existed on such a huge scale.
Absolutely. I love watching people's reactions when they walk into that room.
So do I. Honestly, it never gets old.
If you could pick one area of Hogwarts to step into, do you have a favourite part of the model?
I do like the Great Hall. I'm quite lucky in that I can actually walk into the Great Hall here on tour as well. It has to be the highlight of really any place in Hogwarts.
Sure.
What about you?
For sure. I think Dumbledore's office, you can notice it on our model. It's on the main circular tower, and it's 3 little sort of turrets that come off the main tower, which is really cool because Dumbledore's office has different layers to it, different areas he can go when he's thinking, when he's working, when he's got students to see him. And you can see that from the exterior of the castle as well, which I think is super cool to get to see.
Yeah, definitely. I do think it's something that a lot of people appreciate. We do get a lot of people like you coming in, they burst into tears. We actually get quite a lot of proposals in the model room as well.
It's my favourite thing ever.
Which is very, very special.
It is good.
Very,
it is a
very
very good place to propose. A lovely backdrop, so take notes.
If I didn't work here, I would propose there, I think.
You can't now, you've spoiled it, so you
Yeah,
can't.
well, I'm going to have to find somewhere else.
Absolutely. Well, should we get into what we are here for?
Yes.
So the Hogwarts model was, of course, used for wide shots of Hogwarts throughout the Harry Potter films. And to tell us a little bit more about how it was built and what it was used for, we have Gary Tomkins, the art director, who worked on the Hogwarts model throughout its 8-year construction. So welcome, Gary. Hi, how are you?
Lovely to be in this fantastic set.
Absolutely. So firstly, could you tell us a little bit more about your role and your involvement in the Harry Potter films?
Absolutely. I was one of a number of art directors who worked on the Potter films under the guiding hand of Stuart Craig, our production designer, who's absolute genius, one of the greatest production designers we've ever had.
Absolutely.
My role as an art director was to take his sketches of whether it was Hogwarts Castle or anything else and transfer those via drawings like an architect would make architectural drawings, and then supervise the build either of a set or of the Hogwarts Castle itself.
And what other sets were you involved with in the Harry Potter film series?
Whole lots, as well as looking after Hogwarts Castle miniature throughout the 8 films. I also was involved in miniatures for the Weasley Burrow, and then full-size sets like Shell Cottage and interior Weasley Kitchen. A nice breadth of different subjects as well as the miniatures.
Can you tell us a little bit about what would be the purpose of the model for the castle? What kind of scenes would have been used for the films?
It was primarily used because we couldn't find a castle that had all the elements that we wanted as a location. And obviously to try and film a full-size castle on location has all kinds of issues with it. So Stuart, being the genius that he was, kind of cherry-picked some of his favourite elements of different castles and amalgamated them into this one model. So we have sections of Alnwick Castle, Gloucester Cathedral, Durham Cathedral. In addition to that, of course, it gave him an opportunity to really design some fantastical architecture that kind of knitted all those elements together.
Are there any key scenes in the Harry Potter films where we see the Hogwarts model appear on screen?
Yes, we used it in every one of the films, and we made changes on every film because the script demanded that there were things in the castle that we didn't know were going to be there. One of my very favourite scenes, I think, was in Goblet of Fire, after the first task when Harry is chased by the dragon, because that really gave us an opportunity to explore Hogwarts with a camera flying around it, crashing up onto the roof of Dumbledore's tower, and then coming down with all the slates clattering off.
Yeah, that is a great scene.
It really gave us an opportunity to explore it. So much so that the 24th scale miniature, which is the one that you see here at the tour, because we wanted to go so close up in some of the areas, we had to do 1/10 scale elements. So on a motion control rig, we would go in as close as we dare at 1/24th and then cut to a larger scale, so we could go really close in on the miniature. And then in turn, we built a full-size section for Harry to hang onto the dormer window, and it collapses. And so
I didn't know that.
So there are various different scales of miniature depending on how close you have to go, because obviously the original size of the castle was determined by how big we could make it to go into a soundstage to film on it.
That's really cool. So it's quite a monumental task. How does construction begin? Where does it all start?
Well, it all starts with a blank sheet of paper. So I will have taken Stuart's sketches and designs of what the castle should look like, and then myself and others would start doing an overall plan of particularly where Anna and Gloucester and Durham and all of the locations that we'd shot on, and then filling in the gaps between them with Stuart's designs. And I would say probably in the region of 200 to 300 drawings would be required to build the Hogwarts model.
Gosh.
And of course, every drawing has to be done, every window, every door, even the hinges. Even though the hinges on the doors were only, about 3 centimetres long, they had to be drawn.
That's incredible.
Once those drawings have been done, I would then go down to see the model makers and supervise the construction. The very first thing that they would have done was the landscape. So there's a big steel frame that the landscape is built on, and then each individual building would be made, and they would be started with a sort of plywood shell, a carcass, and little miniature plaster stones would then be added to the face, much in the same way as a full-size set. And after a lot of time and effort, you see the model that you see today.
Amazing, absolutely.
Incredible.
So Hogwarts, of course, unfortunately, it is a fictional castle.
Sadly.
Yeah, I know. How much sort of creative freedom did you and Stuart get when you were designing how it was going to look, the layout, the geography, that sort of?
A great deal. Stuart was brilliant at putting the existing places that we had shot and then coming up with these fantastic designs that would go in the spaces between them. So, for example, the big tower, which we always called Dumbledore's Tower, with the three little conical spaces, which then gave its design to the interior of the Dumbledore's office, which was really nice. And it gave Stuart was always, it has to be rooted in reality, but you can always just dial it up, maybe just dial it up to 11. So everything that we did had to be incredibly architecturally accurate, but you could just push the envelope a little bit, to the extent that I went out and bought some books that were published in 1885, I think, and all the working drawings in there of doors and windows and Gothic tracery. I integrated all those into the model, because everything Stuart wanted to be spot on accurate, which was, and I think it ended up perfect in every way.
I think a lot of people would agree with you there. Actually, do you have any personal memories about the design of the castle or its evolution over the years?
Absolutely. I mean, on every film we added to it because the script demanded a new element. Because when we built it on Harry Potter 1, all the books weren't written, of course, so we didn't know what we would need at the end in the final films. I think one that really sticks in my memory is the owlery. And Stuart came up to me one day and he was looking fairly sheepish. He said, "Gary, I want you to do me a favour." I was like, "Okay, what's that?" He said, "We're building this owlery. We're doing it as a full-size set and as a miniature, but what we need to do is have like a big pile of owl poo in the bottom of it." So I actually had to go to the animal department and photograph owl poo and then take the pictures to the model makers, and it was quite possibly one of the most unusual things that they ever had to build for the whole Hogwarts castle, was miniature owl poo to put in the owlery. Now, of course, when you see the castle today, you don't really know that it's in there, but that didn't stop us going to that level of detail.
No, well, I'm quite glad you didn't bring the real over with you as well.
That's what I thought you were gonna say.
Not what I expected we were going to talk
No.
about today, but
No,
very glad that we have.
Absolutely. One final question for you. How does it make you feel now when you come and revisit the studio? And obviously the Hogwarts model is pride of place here at the
I
studio
love
tour.
it. I absolutely love it, because on every film I've ever worked on, apart from the Harry Potters, every set that you build gets put in a skip at the end.
Yeah.
It's only the Potter
Oh, that's
films
heartbreaking.
that we've managed to save them, and you know,
Yeah.
so fortunate that we've got the studio tour that everyone can come and visit the sets, the miniature, and everything else. So, any excuse to come here and see the sets, and particularly see Hogwarts Castle.
Yeah,
And I love just standing up around the corner from where the visitors enter, and the emotion,
Watching their reactions.
whether they laugh, they cry,
Yeah.
or whatever it might be,
Yeah.
and that's really rewarding. And I think it's a fantastic tribute to Stuart and all that he did on these films. It's the final thing that you go into and you see.
Well, if you don't mind while you're here, if we could just clear up a little interactor rumour. So we've always wondered, how exactly are the lights fitted in the model? We've heard a rumour that it was just one person's job to do so.
That's very interesting. Yes, when we were building the model, there was one very skinny chap that worked in the model making department, and it was his job to crawl through little tunnels that were made in the polystyrene underneath the landscape to fit all the lights. And he was the only person that could actually fit in and do that job. So he created a job for himself on every film because no one else could do it.
Gary, thank you so much for coming to speak to us. It's been really wonderful hearing about your personal experiences with the castle model.
For sure, I wasn't expecting to learn about owl poo, but I'm very glad that I have.
No one ever is. But, yeah.
Well, do join us next time for more behind-the-scenes secrets, and make sure that you book your tickets in advance for your chance to experience not just the Hogwarts model, but a range of incredible sets used on the Harry Potter films here at Warner Brothers Studio Tour London, the making of Harry Potter. See you later.
Bye, everyone.